Okay, class, we're in part 2 of section 4.2. We're going to do these three problems, A, B, and C. A, B, and E, excuse me. So let's go ahead and start with the very first one there. So we take a look here. We have two negative exponents there. They're all different. So the a to the 6 is a positive, so it's going to stay like that. And we're going to apply the negative exponent rule for B and C. So this will be now 1 over b squared and 1 over c to the fourth. Now, since you have them in fractional form here, we're going to have to change the a into a fractional form. So we put a 1 in there. And remember, we're essentially multiplying these. So a to the 6 times 1 will still be a to the 6. And we're going to multiply 1 times b squared times c to the fourth, which will be b squared c to the fourth. And that would be your answer for that one. So it'll be a to the 6, b squared c to the fourth. Letter B, just to let you know that there is this shortcut right here. So in our previous example, we had a negative exponent at the bottom. So in this particular example, we have negative exponents on the top. So to make them in positive, and once again, this is a shortcut. This is not an exponent rule. We just simply move them to the opposite side. So the x will move downstairs and the y will move downstairs as well. The only one that's going to stay on top is the 3, because that one, it has a positive 1 exponent. So the 3 stays. So you're going to have x to the fourth. Remember, this y to the third, it was already positive, so it was already there. And we're going to move down the y squared. So once again, that is the shortcut to that one. And once again, we're going to apply the product rule for the y's. Since we have the same base, we're going to keep the base and add the exponents. So in this particular one, we're going to go ahead and stretch it out. We have 3 x to the fourth. And then we're going to go ahead and add those exponents. So this will be 3 plus 2, which is 5. And that would be your answer. 3 over x to the fourth, y to the fifth. So once again, do not worry too much about the negative exponents. They do show up, but not as often as you will like. And let's try one more. Let's try this one right here. First of all, we're going to go ahead and distribute that negative 3 exponent right there. So we need to put a 1 right there for the 3 right there. So all of these, the 3, the x, the y, and the ones in the bottom, are all going to get that negative 3. So remember, we're going to have to multiply the exponents. This is like number 4 right there, exponent rule number 4. So let's go ahead and do that. So this will be positive 3, and it'll be raised to the negative third power, because 1 times 3, that's negative 3. Same thing with x, 3 times negative 3. It'll be x raised to the negative 9th. And for the y, 0 times negative 3, well, that'll be 0. Remember, 0 is neutral, so it doesn't take any number. So it'll be 3 raised to the negative third, x raised to the negative 9th, and y to the 0. As for the bottom part, do the same thing. Y to the second times negative third will be now y to the negative 6. And the same thing with z. Z squared raised to the negative third will be now z raised to the negative 6 as well. Now notice, we have negative exponents on top and we also have them at the bottom. So we're just going to flip them. The only one that's going to stay on top is that y to the 0, and we'll take care of it a little bit later on. So let's go ahead and swap them out. So you have y to the 6, that goes up, z to the 6, and remember the y to the 0 is right there, For the top part, the 3 raised to the negative third moves downstairs to make it positive, and the same thing with the x to the 9th to make it positive. Now if we take a look, we have two like variables, and according to our rules, if we have like bases right here, we're going to add the exponents. So y 6 plus 0 will be 6, and z to the 6. Keep in mind these things need to be in alphabetical order. So that's what we're going to end up on top. We need to simplify 3 raised to the third, which is 3 times 3 times 3. That will give you 27. And the top and the bottom part, the x to the 9th, will stay. And that will be your final answer right there. Y to the 6, z to the 6 over 27x to the 9th. This concludes part 2.